Wisdom Wednesday, here we go. This has all been about character development. It's all about making our mind stronger. We already spend tons of time practicing our martial arts and really honing our bodies to be able to do the things that we enjoy doing on the mats. But how do we take the lessons that we learn from the mats out into the real world? And that's where these messages really need to ring true, okay? So let's just kind of recap a little bit. We talked in week 1 about the definition, and our topic of the month is practice. So we said that practice is a repeated performance or exercise for the purpose of acquiring skill or proficiency. We also had a Malcolm Gladwell quote to that, which was, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good, it's the thing that you do that makes you good. I love that quote. I really do, right? Week 2, we talked a little bit about us practicing our techniques, and that when we do, it's very much like we're watering a seed and we're trying to grow a plant or a tree, which is awesome, right? So to have that kind of in our mindset, we understand that, okay, this isn't going to be a one and done type thing. Practice is never that way, right? The idea is that I need to keep watering and nurturing that plant in order to help it grow. And I have to keep practicing my techniques, right? And keep going so that I can get stronger and better with my martial arts, right? So that's a huge deal, okay? We also had this thing in here that I think is really good. It said, similarly to practicing good habits, kindness, or practice lays the foundation for a strong character. So the more I practice my kicks and my punches, obviously the stronger they get. But if I practice these other things like good habits, kindness, of course, to others, and patience across the board, right? That's going to make a difference when it comes to building a strong character. And again, we're talking about character development, right? Quote on this one, Aristotle quote, I absolutely love it. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but habits, right? Okay, and we talked a little bit about that in last week's installment of like how to habit stack or how to line things up to make things more successful for ourselves. Going into week 3, this is beautiful. It's probably absolutely my favorite week, I got to be honest. So practice with purpose. Again, like we talked about last week, we're not just checking off the boxes and doing busy work, but we're doing work that's going to get us towards our goals, right? So practice with purpose. It's not enough to go through the motions. We must practice with intention. Huge word, intention, right? Practicing with purpose means setting clear goals and working towards them with dedication. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving a relationship, or achieving a personal milestone, purposeful practice leads to meaningful progress. I'm gonna read that part again because I love it. Purposeful practice leads to meaningful progress. Wow. And here's the quote for this week. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is practice, right? So we tried to break this down a little bit for our Tigers in class. And the big deal, I think, with it is we're trying to explain the difference of like normal human and superhuman, AKA superhero, right? And we do this often enough talking to them about it because what we do here is quite prolific, right? So if you can imagine Superman, let's pick, right? Okay, he's got all these powers, but if he doesn't practice them, he doesn't know how to use them, okay? And even further than that, he doesn't know how to use them for good. He might accidentally hurt somebody, right? Because he hasn't practiced with it, right? Therefore, making him no longer a superhero and making him a, you guessed it, super villain, right? So that's a big deal. So we must practice, right? And so we're trying to help them understand the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Everybody else walks around in their ordinary, but we're here, we're practicing our skill set, making us extraordinary, AKA superhero, right? So I'm here to tell you guys, you are all superheroes as long as you're practicing what you're trying to achieve. If you're working on these little steps to be able to try and get to the big steps, that's what's going to make a difference. So get out there, practice with intention, right? Be purposeful in what you're doing, and make sure you're having fun too, right?